Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a conspiracy so explosive, so spine-shaking, it threatens to rewrite everything we thought we knew about the fall of Kody Brown. This isn't just another feud, another emotional meltdown, or another sister wives storyline gone off the rails. No. What you're about to hear is a theory that could crack Coyote Pass in half. Because according to insiders, whispers, and underground fan investigations, Garrison and Gabriel may have joined forces with David Woolley to destroy Kody Brown from the inside out.
Yes, you heard that right. A secret alliance.
A financial operation hidden in plain sight. And a revenge plan years in the making. This isn't a story about heartbreak anymore. This is a story about strategy.
About land.
About money. About power. And the question echoing through every corner of the internet is chilling. Are Janelle's sons betraying their father for David Woolley's support? Or are they heroes trying to save their mother from total financial ruin? Because when a common enemy emerges, the enemies become allies. And Kody Brown? He might have created the very army that's marching against him. To understand the magnitude of this theory, you have to rewind to the moment the relationship between Kody and Janelle's sons shattered beyond the financial lifeline. David Woolley's alleged role. David isn't just Christine's new husband. He's a seasoned businessman, a man who knows real estate, construction, and the exact smell of a bad financial decision. When he entered the Brown orbit, he didn't just join a blended family, he stepped into the ruins of the Coyote Pass disaster. And according to the theory, shortly after the wedding, something happened. Not a family hangout, not a meet and greet, a closed-door meeting. The theory claims this meeting included David Woolley, Gabriel Garrison, a meeting not about love, but about business, about survival. The boys allegedly went to David because they knew the truth. Janelle had funneled her life savings into the family pot. Money that, according to the rumors, Kody and Robin redirected into their mansion, their lifestyle, and their luxuries. Meanwhile, Janelle was renting a tiny apartment. Her sons were working 2 jobs. And Kody was living like the king of a kingdom built on other people's sacrifices. They needed help. They needed capital. And David Woolley allegedly offered exactly that. The deal: money for information. According to the theory, David Woolley quietly funded the boys. Not to control them, but to free them. Money for housing. Money for stability. Money that ensured they would never again be financially dependent on Kody. And in exchange, not loyalty, not betrayal, information. Garrison and Gabriel allegedly became David's inside men, bringing him details of Coyote Pass agreements, of verbal promises never put on paper, financial movements inside the family LLCs, the timeline of money disappearing into Kody and Robin's accounts. This wasn't gossip. This was ammunition. If David wanted to help Christine and Janelle recover what they lost, he needed proof that Kody mismanaged the family's finances. Who better to provide it than the sons who lived it? Now picture this. Kody pacing inside his mansion. Confused. Paranoid. Raging that his boys won't apologize. Assuming they're just emotional, rebellious, or stubborn. He has no idea that they may be dismantling his kingdom, not with anger, but with information. That while he blames Christine, while he rages at Janelle, while he clings to Robin, the real threat is coming from the children he pushed away. David Woolley, the man who replaced him, isn't attacking from the outside. He's allegedly using the very people Kody mistreated to bring down his empire. The legal nightmare. How this could destroy Kody. This theory goes further. It claims the boys know the precise timeline of when money was moved, how it was shifted, which accounts were drained, what wasn't reported, what was promised but never filed legally. If David Woolley is consulting real estate attorneys or forensic accountants, he may be building a case to challenge the deeds on Coyote Pass itself. A case that could force Kody to sell, lose control, or expose financial discrepancies he never thought would see daylight. And through it all, the most devastating detail is this. Janelle might not even know. Her sons may be trying to hand her freedom without forcing her to fight the man she once loved. They know she hates conflict. They know she still carries guilt over the past. So they're allegedly doing the dirty work for her. The sacrifices. The strategy. The quiet war. The psychological warfare. Kody's greatest insecurity has always been losing control of his family. If this theory is true, David Woolley has struck at the heart of that insecurity, empowering the very sons Kody cast aside. And that would explain everything: the paranoia, the sudden anger, the dramatic mood swings, the frantic interviews, the desperation to rewrite the narrative. He can feel the walls closing in, but he can't see who's pushing them. Because in his mind, his sons are still children. He never imagined they could become his biggest threat. And finally, is it a coincidence that Janelle suddenly found her financial independence right after David married Christine? Some say yes. But the deeper community? The theorists? The insiders? They say absolutely not. They say the alliance is real. The plan is already in motion. And Kody Brown doesn't realize that the destruction of his kingdom might be coming from the very family he abandoned. The internet isn't buying the innocent version of events, not anymore. Because this theory, this clandestine Coyote Pass partnership, fills in every crack the show leaves empty. It explains the quiet confidence in Janelle's eyes. It explains that tiny, knowing smirk David Woolley flashes whenever someone brings up Kody Brown. It isn't arrogance. It's awareness. He knows something. Something devastating. Something powerful. Something Kody Brown would never see coming, because it allegedly involves the loyalty of Kody's own sons. This theory transforms Garrison and Gabriel from angry kids into calculated tacticians. Not rebels, rescuers. Not emotional, strategic. Young men on a mission to pull their mother out of the financial quicksand she's been drowning in for decades. But here's the moral knife edge. Is this justice or betrayal? Because no matter how broken the relationship is, Kody is still their father. If the boys are feeding information to the man who replaced him, information that could strip Kody of his land, drain his accounts, and David Woolley? He represents maneuverability. He represents leverage. He represents power. The silent partners, a family rebellion in the shadows. The theory goes deeper, much deeper. If Gabriel and Garrison are the generals of this operation, then who are the lieutenants? Who are the silent partners lurking behind the scenes? Is Gwendolyn involved? She's been openly critical of her father for years. Could there be a private group chat, a digital war room, where the adult children share information, coordinate moves, and funnel intel straight to David? The theory suggests this. David Woolley isn't just supporting Christine. He is allegedly becoming the financier of the entire ex-wife faction. He is the bank. The kids are the foot soldiers. And together, they form an alliance Kody never imagined was even possible. Suddenly, Kody's paranoia doesn't look so paranoid. His fear that the entire family is ganging up on him? His claims that there's a mutiny? If this theory is true, he's not imagining it. He's finally seeing the consequences. The risk, nuclear fallout inside the Brown family. If this conspiracy were exposed, it would be catastrophic. It would validate every fear Kody has ever screamed into a camera, that he's the victim, that his family betrayed him, that the wives and children plotted against him. But here's the truth the internet believes. The boys no longer care. They've passed the point of wanting Kody's approval. They are done apologizing, done begging, done waiting. When Gabriel said he wouldn't speak to his father again until Kody apologized, that wasn't teenage anger. That was a verdict. A final sentence. The slamming of a door that will never open again. And when one door closes, a window opens. That window was David Woolley. The property war, Coyote Pass, as the battlefield. To understand the magnitude of this alliance, you have to understand the property. Coyote Pass isn't dirt. It's not land. It's not a project. It is a symbol. For Kody, it's the legacy he built his identity on. For Janelle, it was the promise of retirement and stability. For the boys, it's a graveyard, the place where the dream of a united Brown family died. If Gabriel and Garrison are working with David to force a buyout, or even a legal petition, then they're not just attacking Kody's finances. They're liquidating his dream, turning his vision into cash. Cash that would go to the mother he neglected. Cash that would free her forever. It's ruthless. It's cold. But is it justified? The internet says yes. Because Kody has been accused, repeatedly, of financial favoritism, manipulation, and neglect. In public opinion, the sons are heroes. But in a court, emotion doesn't win. Evidence does. And that's where the boys' insider knowledge becomes deadly. If they can prove money was moved improperly, if they can connect dates, accounts, LLC transfers, then David Woolley has the financial firepower to hire lawyers that could strip Coyote Pass from Kody's hands entirely. This is no longer Sister Wives. This is Succession, Coyote Pass edition. You have the patriarch refusing to step down, the wealthy outsider with deep pockets, the sons acting as disillusioned heirs, and a kingdom on the brink of collapse. And the most terrifying thing for Kody? He doesn't know who to trust. Every time he sees a photo of the boys smiling with David, every time a sibling posts a cryptic message online, every time a family rumor surfaces, Kody must ask himself, what are they planning next? The psychological collapse. What we're looking at now is no longer just a feud. It's a restoration project. But the cost of that restoration is nothing short of Kody Brown's complete and public humiliation. Because according to this theory, Garrison and Gabriel are allegedly feeding David every failure, every hypocrisy, every moment where Kody chose Robin over the rest of the family. And David? He doesn't use these stories to gossip. He uses them to strategize. He studies Kody like a tactician studies a battlefield. He knows exactly which pressure points will make Kody look incompetent, not just to the public, but to the few remaining family members still hovering in his orbit. And then there's the most explosive part. Janelle might not know. According to this theory, the boys are keeping her completely in the dark. Not out of deceit, but to protect her. If she knew about a plot to legally outmaneuver Kody, she might try to stop it. She might cling to some lingering sense of duty or guilt, or that familiar Brown family instinct to keep the peace. But with plausible deniability, she can claim innocence. She can walk forward confidently. She can enjoy the benefits of her new life, unaware that her freedom was purchased in a currency of betrayal, secrecy, and whispered alliances. It's a dangerous game, a high-stakes gamble, and the boys seem more than willing to play it. The hostile takeover begins. So, where does this leave us? Teetering on the edge of a cliff. Because if this theory is true, the real battle for Coyote Pass has only just begun. This isn't a family falling apart. This is a corporate coup. We are watching the controlled demolition of a man who believed he was untouchable. And the people swinging the sledgehammers? His own flesh and blood. We've established the motive. We've identified the players. Now, we need to understand the method. If Garrison and Gabriel are acting as inside operatives for David Woolley, how exactly are they dismantling Kody's empire? The answer lies not in emotion but in math. In patterns. In the little details the cameras never show. This theory pulls us into the world of forensic accounting, digital trails, and a strategic maneuver known in corporate warfare as the hostile environment. The ledger of neglect, the first prong of this operation, is allegedly something fans are calling the ledger of neglect. For years, viewers assumed Gabriel was just emotional, sensitive, hurt. But this theory suggests something very different. It claims he was taking notes. Actual notes. Dates, times, promises, financial discrepancies. A quiet archive of every moment Kody failed as the head of the family LLC. And when David entered the picture with his businessman's instincts, he asked the boys the most dangerous question possible. Can you prove it? Can you prove that Kody violated fiduciary duties? Can you prove the family pot was misused? Can you prove the flow of money from Janelle into the DABRC accounts, and the flow of money from those accounts into jewelry, art, cars, or God knows what else? That question changed everything. The theory claims the boys began constructing a timeline, a smoking gun map connecting a Janelle's deposits, DABRC transfers, a large unexplained purchases, dates where financial promises were made and broken. This isn't gossip. This is evidence. And if David Woolley is quietly funding a legal strategy behind the scenes, then this ledger is the grenade pin. But the boys' alleged role doesn't stop at digging through the past. No, this theory goes deeper. The boys still show up when invited. They still attend family events when the door is open. They still hold just enough contact to make Kody think reconciliation is possible.
Why?
Intel. Every complaint Robin makes about money. Every scheme Kody presents for building soon. Every whispered update about Coyote Pass. According to the theory, it all gets funneled straight back to David. And David uses that information to guide Janelle. So when Janelle calmly refuses to sign paperwork, or when she suddenly knows the exact market value of a specific acre, or when she challenges Kody point for point on zoning laws, watch Kody's face. The shock, the confusion, the paranoia. He wonders, how does she know this? The theory says she knows because Gabriel and Garrison are feeding her the intel, and David's real estate team is weaponizing it. The land, a battlefield of dirt and dreams. Now we come to the land itself. To the untrained eye, Coyote Pass is just a patch of Arizona dirt. But in reality, it's a financial trap. A maze of zoning restrictions, drainage nightmares, and astronomical utility hookup costs. Kody has been stuck in planning mode for years, paralyzed, confused, making grand declarations with zero execution. But David Woolley? David owns a drywall and construction company. He understands development. He understands feasibility. He can look at that land and instantly calculate whether it's viable, profitable, or a total money pit. According to the theory, the boys rely on David's expertise to expose Kody's incompetence and accelerate his collapse. Today's story takes us into the shadows of a brewing war, One so calculated, so quietly orchestrated, that by the time Kody Brown realizes what's happening, the trap may already be sealed shut. Because according to this theory, this chilling, fast-spreading theory, David Woolley is not just Christine's new husband. He may be the architect of Kody Brown's downfall, operating with the full support of Janelle's sons and possibly others. Let's dive into the conspiracy. The financial chokehold, the darkest part of this theory, suggests David isn't simply watching from the sidelines. He may be strategically positioning himself to buy the debt tied to Coyote Pass. Imagine it. Kody falls behind on property taxes, installments, balloon payments, because the one thing Kody has never managed well is money. And then, David swoops in like a silent hawk and purchases the debt. At that moment, Kody Brown's dream dies. Because the man he despises most suddenly becomes his landlord. But here's where it gets deeper. Janelle's boys, Garrison and Gabriel, are the Robin Brown, long painted as the villain in the fanbase, is, in this theory, the primary target of psychological warfare. Because Robin thrives on stability, control, predictability. The alliance between Janelle's sons and David Woolley threatens all of it. Every photo of Garrison smiling with David, every moment Gabriel spends at Christine's home, every post, every hug, every barbecue, it sends one message straight into Robin's mansion. We have replaced you. This pushes Robin into paranoia. She questions Kody's leadership. She sees him losing his sons, losing the narrative, losing control. Inside that home, the tension spikes. The blame shifts. The fights escalate. Divide and conquer. The boys are baiting Kody, and he takes the hook every single time.